Hi there, Tooke here, and welcome to another episode of Trainer Tip of the Week. So this week I wanted to look at upper body posture. More specifically, that head forward, rounded over in the shoulders and upper body posture. If we look at your posture from the side and we have a straight line, we should notice it goes through the ankle, through the knee, through the hip, through the torso, through the shoulder, and then through the ear. What tends to happen with a lot of people is you see that ear forward of the line or the ear and the shoulders forward of the line. I specifically work with a lot of busy business professionals who have sedentary type jobs, so I see this a lot with them. So I want to show you things to work on the three things that cause this kind of posture. And we're going to work on the head forward, the shoulders forward, and the hunched over in the upper back. Now, if you only have one of these things or two of these things going on, then just focus on the things that are specifically affecting you. So first we're going to look at the forward head posture. So there's three muscles we need to stretch. The first one is your SCM, or your sternocleidomastoid mastoid. So as I'm holding the stretch, you see it going below my ear to my thumb there. That is the SCM. So to do it, I like to use one hand to depress my chest, and then you turn your head to the side, and then you tilt your head back until you feel a stretch. So hold it for 30 or 40 seconds, or if you prefer, you can do it for 8 deep breaths, which is for your anterior scalenes, and it looks very similar. But on this one, you're going to use that hand again to depress the chest, and this time you're going to tilt your ear to the shoulder, and then you're going to turn your chin up towards the other shoulder, trying to kind of point it straight up in the air. As you do this one, you really want to focus on bringing the shoulder down away from the ear. I find that's a good way to get a little bit more of the upper trap in there as well. Now, there's one more muscle that we need to stretch, and that is your suboccipitals. So for that, I like to use a lacrosse ball. If you have trying to think the name of it, the two balls stuck together, the peanut ball, that's great because you can do both sides at the same time. But basically you pin this into the base of your skull off to one side, and then use one hand to hold it there, and then you just do small up and down motions. Now, the last part to fix the forward head posture is doing chin tucks. So this is to strengthen your deep neck flexor muscles. So the easiest way to do this, and this is how I get the clients to start, is laying on the ground and just tucking the chin in towards the neck. If this is easy, then I'll get clients to lift the head off the ground a little bit and perform the same move. You can even use your fingers on your chin to help guide the chin tuck if you need that assistance. So I'll do those 3 stretches first, and then I'll follow it by this strengthening one. Now, for the shoulders brought forward, a lot of times I find that's from a super tight chest. So I like to use the lacrosse ball against the wall. So the 2 hot spots I find in the chest muscle where it tends to be really tender is back and forth underneath the collarbone and up and down in front of the shoulder. So you can roll the ball the length of the muscle. You can also cross fiber, so that's going across the muscle. And if you find a really nice tender spot in the front of the shoulder, kind of where that chest attaches to the arm, then I like to pin the ball and then just move my arm around. So you can do the arm moving up and down, or you can also do it forward and back. Sorry you can't really see my hand too good in this picture. You can also do this ball work on the ground. I like to put the ball on a yoga block if I'm doing it off the floor. Now, this one is for mobility through the thoracic spine, the middle of the back. So this is for the hunched over in the spine. So for this one, you want a peanut ball. If you don't have a peanut ball, you can take 2 lacrosse balls and tape them together to make your own peanut ball. And I like to start at the bottom of the shoulder blades, or think kind of the bra strap. And the 2 things I'll do is, one, I'll give myself a hug and I'll rock side to side. And the other one I like to do is to move the hands from the hips to overhead. After you do it about 3 or 4 times, then you just lift your bum up and roll the balls up to like the next vertebrae up, and then do the same thing. And I'll work my way all the way up to the top of the shoulder blades. Now, if there's spots along the way that aren't tender or sore at all, then I'll just kind of skip by them. And if there's spots that are extremely uncomfortable and tender, then I'll spend a little bit more time on those spots. Now, if this is too aggressive on the floor, it's a little less aggressive if you do it against the wall. When you go against the wall, you control how hard that you push into those balls. The firmness of the balls, too, will also make it more or less intense. More firm, more intense, a little bit squishy, less intense. Now, after doing that chest mobility and the thoracic spine mobility, then I like to follow it up with T's and Y's. This is great to strengthen your lower and your mid traps. So on an incline bench, you just want to lift your shoulders down and back, almost lifting your chest a little bit off the bench. And you're going to bring your arms out to the side with the thumbs up. You want to think about squeezing the shoulder blades towards the spine. And then you're going to bring the arms more up towards the head, so it kind of looks like a Y, again with the thumbs up. And in that one, I like to focus on squeezing the shoulder blades down. Okay, and then you just alternate between the two. Now, for most clients starting out, it's tough enough with just the body weight of your arms. I prefer to kind of go a little lighter and be able to hold the contraction at the top for a couple seconds. Now, if you find it's not too tough and you can do, 10 reps of each, then feel free to add some little dumbbells to the move. You don't need much weight. Now here I'm showing you if you don't set your shoulders before starting the move, you'll see that the upper traps kind of take over and the shoulders come up around the ears. Again, you want to make sure before you start that you set those shoulders and your chest is only lightly touching the bench. Same thing with the Y. If you don't set those shoulders, they come up around the ears as you lift the arms, and you'll notice you can't get those arms up around the ears. If you do all these things, you'll notice that posture improve really quickly. Hope you enjoyed. See you on the next episode of Trainer Tip of the Week.